Welcome to the Just Call It podcast. As in, of course, of good timing, we have my neighbor doing some grass stuff. So he's obviously using a blow dryer of some kind for his bald head, and that's okay. You know, I'm talking extremely close to the mic, and hopefully that you guys can hear me. Welcome to the Just Call It podcast. It is Saturday. It's a Saturday, the 13th, November 13th, 2021, exactly 11:10 Pacific Standard Time. We're here in the Just Call It podcast chilling. Enjoying the winter rays, as they so call it here in California. As it's always typically pretty sunny, but it was lately pretty rainy here in the Bay Area. Um, if you go on my podcast, typically on my page, I'll post pictures of the view that I have where I'm currently living, and see how extremely freaking rainy it is. But today is a beautiful day, man. You really got to look into that type of significance, that symbolism, When there are rainy days, there will soon be sunny days. You got to understand that nothing's permanent in life. And that's for sure. That's 100%. Today, we are not sponsored by this soda that I'm drinking right now, but it's freaking delicious. This is a childhood soda that I used to drink when I was a kid. Um, in high school, me and my friends were skaters, skateboarders. We were rambunctious fools. And typically we would go to an ice cream shop here in the Bay Area called Lords, Lords, apostrophe S to be exact. It's not Lord as in like the church. No, it's Lords. We would go to Lords. Never really liked their ice cream, to be honest. Their ice cream tastes like, well, I don't want to dip on Lords. I don't want to down them. The Lords was good. The Lords where I used to live at used to sell this soda right here. It's called Jones soda. It's probably backwards. Actually, it's not. It's fucking delicious. It's a delicious soda. It's called Jones soda. It was the best soda to have after a really long, long, long day of skateboarding to get a fucking cold ass Jones soda. It was the best. So nostalgically, I went to go get some pizza, and I saw these sitting right there in a little, kind of liquor stand type of style, and I had to buy them. I bought four of them. I bought my favorite one is the berry lemonade soda. Not a sponsor of Jones, but if you guys wanted a sponsor, please sponsor me. I love your soda ever since I was a fucking child, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of the most delicious sodas in the world. Jones soda is the best. I don't care what anybody says. If they say it's sugary, if they say there's it's awkward, it's not, it's too expensive, you know. It's a delicious soda. Don't deny the deliciousness of this soda. What's unique about this soda is that every photo that goes on the front of the label is all pictures that fans have submitted in or people take pictures of, Like mine right now has one of a dude on a motorcycle. No picture is really the same on the label, except, it says Jones Soda. It says, all the good stuff, what's it made out of, the ingredients, calories, all that crap, right? But what's good about Jones Soda is that it's It's an independent since 1996. Not a sponsor. It's a family. Jones Soda. Let's read the about of the soda. I love this. Since 1996, a small team of soda enthusiasts have dedicated themselves to bring you the best damn cane sugar soda possible and will not stop anytime soon. Our mission is to keep you refreshed with bold flavors sweetened with real cane sugar. Jones Soda is all about real people making real good soda since Pluto was still a planet. Enjoy. Damn. They hit you with that one right there. That's a delicious soda, man. I'm not a sponsor of this soda, but I will say to you, save your caps and get gear. Oh, dude, I threw away 4. Keeping this one. Technically, I threw away 3. It's a good soda, man. I gave one of my wife. She said it was too sugary. I told her, I got mad at her. I said, "This is the best soda in the goddamn world. Isn't if there's not one of these sodas that you don't like, that's questionable to me." Delicious soda, man. Not a sponsor. Hope you guys can still hear me. Obviously, there's a lot of woodworking going on where I live. That's always a good thing. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's hot. Hot. It's hot. It's one of those Saturdays where you just want to go out, take a walk in a park. You know, let me go sit on a blanket. I'm away doing some errands in the morning. I found I typically love listening to 90.7 in the Bay Area. I believe um, it's a local station run by a couple of kids from Berkeley, I believe, and they play just the most unique music, just the most unique music that I love so much. Um, and I found this band that I just thought was amazing. What's up, bros? What's going on, guys? Catch you later. Some crows flying by. It's pretty cool. Thinking I'm probably lunch right now or something. Not dead yet. Bite me? Huh? Get out of here. Yeah. I hate birds. Fucking big. When you live on top of a hill, you see birds like pretty much midair. They're like trying to catch flight, you know. They're like stuck because sometimes there's not a breeze to catch. And they kind of just float sometimes, but then they just dip down real quick, like a raptor or a hawk. Uh, I'm a full sponsor of coffee. Coffee sponsors me. Oh man, coffee in the morning. Nothing beats coffee. Coffee is like it's almost better than sex. Almost. Like when the coffee hits you at the right time, it's whew, man, some good motherfucking coffee. But sometimes the coffee is not good, right? You know what I'm saying? How is sex and coffee linked together in that statement? I do not know. But for me, the coffee is always good. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, back to the podcast. Coffee fully sponsors me. I've been a sponsor of coffee since '89. You know, coffee's the best. I've done a lot of good things for coffee. Just kidding. Found a great band, like I was saying, man. The band, the music here in the Bay Area, that unique band. I want to play some of it. I'm gonna play some of it. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't take me off when I post this. This band is called, oh man, this band is called Coco Roco. Coco Roco is a band from London, um, UK based band, and they're great. They have a great following over there. They said they changed the scene. And I just dig this song a lot. It just has a great beat. There's no, real vocals on the song 100%. Words, all that stuff is just kind of a band jamming. Yeah. In my perception, the notion was well understood. The politeness of being was my mood. The miniature garden of Eden made Tuesday pleasing while staring at life's meaning. The babe's beauty breathing its kiss, my submissive soul gives in as the colors I see intrigue me, and the knowledge locked in this place is quite the vision. I stand in amazement. The coast of my imagination will soon build harbors in honor of today's inspiration. The bamboo is thus spilt the seed to grow through me as torture for loving poetry. The shades of Asia console the soles of my sneaker, eager to see the deserts of Mexico, a walk from Hokkaido and on Collins Bench near the oleander of Tunisia, in the weather of Berkeley, California. The thought of a rejuvenated Saturday spun a new me, drip down the eyes and into reality. Foretold futures have come to me to spark memories in my old reincarnated soul. The cold, blurry images of once was a drunk drive home. Four lovely siblings waiting for me in my office slash bedroom. The unforgettable feeling of laying lifelessly in front of them. Fruitful children speaking of their day, exploring the urban metal jungle their elder play. Blank white slates forged into paintings and made out of their school budget. A mother waiting at home, wiser than Mother Nature and any other. A father working and returning, giving like the tree does the shade. And the elder child, blankly staring at his feet, unsound night, breath within the flints. The horoscope, nor the constellations can tell what's within, deliberating his actions, what matters, and what's impacting. This is the white flag. I wrote that poem a while ago, back when I was a little bit younger. That poem was took me about 1 year to create. It's about two different points in my life. One when I was going through a moment of a lot of depression and drugs, and tripping off of women, especially my wife till to this day. Um, well, not till this day, but that was the reason for me writing that poem. And also the times afterwards where I wrote the second verse of that poem, where it talks more about the despair of the reality of my life, and what I kind of went through at those times, and how I ended up writing something that ended up coming up in the future in me, drunk driving and really bad feelings and shit. and that already happened in a poem that I've already made before. I made the poem before the accident. So um, it's a really, I love that poem. I love that band. And I once I listened to the song today, I just listened to the song today, and I was like, damn man, I want to like riff my poem over this song. I just feel like it would be hella dope. So I just hope you guys like that. If you guys like poetry a lot more, let me know in the comments and stuff like that. But I wrote that poem through a lot of stuff, and he talks about the white flag, man. It's what's the poem is title is the white flag is that you have at some point in your life you're gonna have to surrender to some things. The fact of growing old, and becoming an adult and manning up to certain responsibilities. And still to this day, I'm learning how to change certain things about myself. And I think that's the most important thing is most people should do is learn how to change the worst things about themselves into good things. What they don't like about themselves is probably something they're not happy with. And I just mean that about you. Don't worry about what anybody says to you because of what they don't like about you. That's a totally different fucking story. That's their fucking reality. The reality is, are you happy with yourself? You know, are you around the right people? Are you living the reality you truly want to live? You know, and that is what I was writing about. Is that what is the fate of me? What do I want to surrender to? You know, what is this change of a man that I'm going to be, living at home at the time, and not wondering what I truly was going to become. You know, and it really bothered me, and I just started writing more and more about it. Sorry about hitting the mic. And the poem, that poem really meant a lot. I got to read that poem one time in spoken word, no music, in front of the Berkeley Poetry Slam, with my cousin and his girlfriend, over there watching me. That was amazing to be in front of a crowd of like 50 people. It's like a competition, so I won with that poem. That was the first poem that I came up off the stage with, and I won to go to the second round, but I wasn't able to go to the to the third round. I guess my poem didn't make it. um but it was cool, man. That was a really great thing in my life to say that I did that, because I love poetry. I love poetry. I love the feeling of hearing spoken word and hearing the most amazing things about people and their struggles and their cleverness in writing and their, hilarity in it, their quarrels, their inspirations, their changes. Poetry can describe of anything to anybody, and how you interpret it, it's the most amazing feeling in the world. Besides my podcast, I love poetry. That's one of my youngin things that I used to do as a kid is I would read and go to the library because I used to get bullied a little bit. And that's where I would kind of retreat to a lot of that. I was kind of a loner a little bit sometimes, where I go on a lot of hikes by myself on the weekends and do some writing. I wrote a lot of poems and the foothills of San Ramon and Diablo Valley, over there, and I love that, and I've hiked a lot of other places and wrote poems, and I've got to read poems in very funny situations, and got to read poems in front of people that actually wanted to listen to the poems, and at both times I've heard really great reception, feedback from people, and I want to continue that, and I hope to bring more to that to the podcast. Uh, my podcast is not about like you know whatever the fuck you want it to be. It's whatever the fuck I want it to be. It's everywhere. It's real. It's funny. It's stupid. It's hilarious. It's clever. It's genius, and I don't care what anybody says about that. That's probably the most most motherfucking pathetic thing to say on a podcast right now, to say that your podcast is the best. But I believe if you believe in it, I believe in my shit. I believe in it. Um, Wherever that may lead me, that's wherever it may lead me, you know. But that's I believe in it 100%. So I try to do what I got to do with it, and hope that one day that it can lead people to good things. You know, I hope that I can at least get a following of a couple people. You know, I gotta say that I got a highlight of 500 downloads. But that's after 2 years. Doing my podcast is lame, but I just started a big push to put my podcast more out there. The past couple months, so I'm happy for that victory. You know, so little by little, things get there. Remember, I'm a Bay Area podcast. Support your local podcast. You know, listen to what people have to say sometimes, man. Sometimes you learn from people, and I think that's some of the best things is learning from people. You ain't gonna learn it from anybody but the people before you, or the youngins, or whoever. You got to learn something, adapt, with the times. One day we're all going to be working from home, and one day we're going to be all in virtual reality, and all of us are going to be behind this generation that don't believe in that shit, and our kids and kids are going to be in this whole different world looking crazy to us, and that's what's going to be, because that's what I feel now, and I understand what the older generation now feels towards me, and towards the generation even younger towards me. So you know we're crazy people as we grow. And I think that the best evolution of someone really explained that to me was a skater on the Theo Vaughn podcast, where Ryan Williams, I think his name is Ryan Williams. I have no clue. I know his name is Ryan. But I listened to the whole podcast. It was a great podcast for the two of those guys. And he said that, when I was doing tricks, I did tricks that people are doing. When I did them, no one could really do them, but now people do them all the time like it's nothing, and now they're doing tricks that I can't even do, or I have to learn how to do. And that's so fucking true, man. I remember, doing a kickflip was amazing, and then seeing the kids what they do now on like a rail, or like how technical they are on flat ground, or just like on a step, like it's just amazing the fucking the tricks that they just flip off their feet like it's nothing, and everyone's getting better, and I love that it's getting, to be honest, I really love that more African American people are joining the skateboarding crew, more Hispanic people are getting involved, more people from all over the world are getting more united with skateboarding. It's becoming a Olympic event. I mean, that's a fucking amazing, man. That's amazing. That puts really everybody at like, who's the best motherfucking skater? Who is? Who are they? You know, my fucking hero was Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen. Um, I like some of the tough guys too, like Mike Valley or some shit. I think his name was like that. Uh, Dude, skateboarding was just a thing of mine. I love skating, and I still got a skateboard till to this day. And like the evolution of that shit is so true. Like the people, the youngins, they grow faster than us. They learn things that we never learned, because they learn that at a young age in school and stuff. And like me learning computers at a young age in school, that my mom like has still difficulty to this day, and to me it's like nothing. My kids are going to look at that and do things like that, it's nothing. So I think that people should really wise up on things like that, like pay attention to shit in this generation where you got to adapt to the fact that you have to. It's hard to me for me to fuck with this technology. I mean, fucking with this to this day. um I'm still using iMovie to make this motherfucking podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to fuck with Photoshop or whatever the fuck, because I don't want to pay for it. So everyone, happy Saturday, with the coffee. Oh, it's so delicious. Hope you guys have really enjoyed the podcast. I really appreciate you guys coming through. Everybody who's coming to watch the podcast. This is on YouTube. You watch the video. If you're listening to me right now on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, on Facebook, I'm on everywhere. You can't miss me, bro. If you really want to see me, I'm there. Please share the podcast. Please, do anything that you can to support me. You don't need to give me any money. Anything you can do to spread the name of the podcast, I really appreciate that. And I'd love to show you love back. Thank you so much and have a great day, great Saturday, great weekend. Another podcast coming up before Thanksgiving, of course, and all that shit. So I hope you guys let me know what you guys want to talk about. What do you like about the podcast? And thank you very much. God bless. And then fuck y'all. Don't listen to the podcast. Yeah, yeah.